So quite frankly, I know Raider Nation doesn't want to hear it, but we're in a rebuild. What's up, Raider Nation? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. And if you already subscribed, hit that like button. Well, let's get straight to it, guys. We're 1 week into free agency, and quite frankly, we haven't signed any big names. And a lot of Raider Nation is very upset. We didn't have that much money to spend to begin with. I know we had around $45 million available in the cap. I think that was third most when free agency started. But a little bit less than half of that money went to our quarterback. We needed a quarterback. That left us with around $30 million. Now, the big name guys like the Javon Hargraves of the world, Deron Payne, those guys would contribute to our team, but they were going for around 18 to 20 mil. We can't afford to pay one specific player that much money right now. Not when we got this many holes. So quite frankly, I know Raider Nation doesn't want to hear it, but we're in a rebuild. Like I've said in my previous videos, Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock have set this team back years. Why do you ask? Well, to begin with, we owe $30 million to players that are not even on the team. Guys like Corey Littleton, Carl Nassib, Kenyon Drake. The list goes on and on. We're still paying Darren Waller under 1 mil, but he's still on the books. Derek Carr, we released him, but yeah, he's still around 6 million against the cap. How else did Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock set us back? Well, to begin with, all their draft picks were terrible. Other than Max Crosby, Hunter Renfrow, and Josh Jacobs, he wasted so many picks. And not, yes, we can go and we could talk about the first rounders. We all know the Henry Ruggs, the Damon Arnett's. Yes, those are blatant miss. But what about in the later rounds? The John Simpsons of the world, the Lynn Bowden Juniors of the world, Tanner Muse. All those guys didn't contribute. A lot of Raider fans want to say, well, hey, Jon Gruden's team took us to a playoffs. They got us to a playoff appearance. And what did Josh McDaniels do the following year? He couldn't take us back. So a lot of people say we digress. Well, I'm here to tell you that we snuck into the playoffs 2 years ago. We got lucky. We beat 4 teams, and 3 of those teams didn't have their quarterback. We were beating guys like Jacoby Brissett. When we played the Colts, they had Carson Wentz at quarterback. The only game during that stretch that was a good opponent, that was a respectable opponent, were the Chargers that last game. And we damn near lost that game. If it wasn't for us sneaking away with the victory in overtime, we never would have made it into the playoffs. We can't just let go of Josh McDaniels after 1 year when Jon Gruden's first year was terrible. I think we only won 4 games that year. Coming off of a year, we had won 7. And I wasn't hearing everyone screaming, fire Gruden then. People are attached to Derek Carr and everything that comes along with it, like Jon Gruden. Everyone wants to compare Josh McDaniels to Jon Gruden. Well, Josh McDaniels is now bringing in his guys like Jimmy Garoppolo, Jacoby Myers. He re-signed Jacob Johnson. Let's see what he can do with his guys in under his system and see if he could take us to the playoffs. I know that's a long shot. We still got so many holes on the defense, but right now we have 12 picks. As of right now, we have 12 picks in this upcoming draft. I know the draft is about a month away. Let's just say we go after a guy like Christian Gonzalez in the first round, and then we get a guy like Hendon Hooker in the second round. Let him sit behind Jimmy Garoppolo and let him learn. Let him learn the system and see how a veteran quarterback goes about his day. Now, as far as Christian Gonzalez, if we get Christian Gonzalez in the first round, I feel like we'll have a respectable 1-2 tandem at the cornerback position with Christian Gonzalez on one end and Nate Hobbs covering the other. Let's bring back Rock Ya-Sin. Maybe put Rock Ya-Sin on the other end and jump and put Nate Hobbs back in the slot. That's a respectable DB room right there with Marcus Epps, Trayvon Merrick, Christian Gonzalez, Nate Hobbs, and if we were to re-sign Rocket Sin. Now, like I said, we're 1 week into free agency, and quite frankly, like I said, we haven't made any big splashes. Yes, we signed Marcus Epps, OJ Howard, Jacoby Myers, and Philip Dorsett. Is that going to take us over the top? No, it's not. But this draft is very important. This draft coming up is the most important that Raider Nation has had in a very long time. We have to hit on the first 3 picks, rounds 1 through 3. We absolutely have to. If we're not, we're back to square one. Now, I know we traded Darren Waller for a 3rd-round pick, and a lot of Raider fans are upset about that. It's going to be okay, guys. This draft is loaded with tight ends. And as of right now, we just signed OJ Howard. We also got Austin Hooper coming in for a visit. Let's hope we could sign him as well. Now, that's a respectable 1-2 punch. We could still go after our tight end of the future in the later rounds. We don't need to address that position so early in the draft. And I don't think it's quite fair to judge Josh McDaniels after 1 year. Let's just take his draft class from last year. Let's take his and let's examine it. He got Bilal Nichols, he got Neil Farrell Jr., and he also got Thayer Munford. Those 3 guys all contributed last year. Just about the same as the 2018 draft class. The Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Abram, Cleveland Farrell. I would say that draft class is just as respectable as that draft class. There's only one guy out of the 2018 draft class. There's only one guy that's still on the team, Josh Jacobs. The 2 other guys are on their 2nd and 3rd team. 2nd being Clee and 3rd being Jonathan Abram. Jonathan Abram is about to find himself out of the league. He's probably not even going to make that Saints roster, to be honest. Now, I've been seeing a lot on Twitter and then on YouTube that a lot of Raider fans want us to bring in guys like Bobby Wagner, Marcus Peters. And by the looks of it, I think we're staying away from older veteran players like that, guys that are past 30. This new regime wants to stay young. They're looking for the future. They don't want to bring in a big name veteran that's only going to be here for a year and collect his money and be on his way out the following year. It's a waste of time. We might as well keep that cap for the following year so our cap space could be even greater next season. And to tell you the truth, I love what Dave Ziegler is doing. He's really giving these guys 1-year contracts. If you look at their contracts, they're 1-year prove-it deals. Like Jimmy Garoppolo. I know he signed for 3 years, but technically he's only guaranteed the first year. We could move on from him after this year if it doesn't go well. So that's what I'm saying. Go after Hendon Hooker in the 2nd round. That would be a good pick. If all else fails, we can always move up next year and get a guy like Caleb Williams. But that's it for this episode today, guys. Let me know what you guys think about the free agent signings. Are you okay with them? And who's your favorite? My personal favorite as of right now is Marcus Epps. I love what he brings to the table. He's a Cali native, and he's got a lot of swag. So I love players that play like that. And until next time, guys, peace.